What kind of world do you want? Think anything. Start at the start. Build a masterpiece. Be careful what you wish for. History starts now. A little 5 for Fighting, a little John Andrasic. Oh, she has such beautiful lyrics and such unique way of, just such a unique songwriter. Anyways, this is Laura T. Dream Tales 123 on eBay. I'm the Silver Owl Thrifter on YouTube. I'm in my kitchen because we had new carpeting put in the basement and the sunroom, and it's Berber carpeting. We call it Berber carpeting. My cats call it the biggest scratching post they've ever seen. So they are not allowed on there because with Berber, if they scratch it, it like really pulls it up. I don't know if you've ever had Berber. It's I really like the look of it, but it's not real cat friendly. But we're moving, so it looks really good. So I'm in here and I have the door closed because unfortunately Chelsea, with her coughing, her begging, and her barking, just is too disruptive sometimes. So I have to ban her while I'm doing this once in a while, especially if I'm doing one that might be a little bit longer and it would involve like giving her 20 treats to keep her quiet and settle down. Speaking of treats, yesterday we have this slip-covered couch, and I decided to clean all the slip covers for the upcoming moves, get everything all nice and clean. And we have a slip cover on it, and then we kind of put blanket. Oh, sorry about that. We put blankets on I don't know if I mute this, if it will mute all the other things or will mute me talking. So I'm not going to mute it. I think it's my, I don't know what I did there. Okay, never mind. I'm not going to fix it because I think I'd end up breaking it. So anyways, sorry, I'm so frazzled here, just being in a new place and everything. Haven't been on for a few days because we're really trying to get a lot done. And we just had a crazy week with like bank financing stuff and everything. It all worked out really good, but just felt a little frazzled and just having lots of work done. You know, when you have people in your house doing work, it's just disruptive. So anyways, we're doing the slipcover, cleaning the slipcovers, and I found so many, like a big cache of dog treats in there that I guess Chelsea was hiding for a rainy day. I think she forgot about them because I think if she remembered they were there, she would be eating them. Or maybe she just couldn't get to them. Yeah, because we had the slipcovers and then we have kind of blankets over them to keep them clean. They're white. I'm one of those crazy people who got a couch with white slipcovers. Which we keep covered all the time, so you never see the white. But we take it off when we sell the house, but it still gets dirty and stuff spilled on. Anyways, gosh, why are we talking about this? This is eBay. So let me talk about that, and then I'll talk about other things. So I made $27 overnight, and let's break it down and see what is profit. I got this set up. Created. Okay, the first thing I sold was. Find them. There they are. All right. This pair of antique micro mosaic screwback earrings, estate boho, eclectic floral. And these sold for $12 and $5 shipping. So I made $10 on those. And then, a lot of the stuff is some of the stuff is just stuff I'm finding as we're going through the house and downsizing. And it's like, well, I run a lot of it through eBay, and if it looks like it'll sell, this just had a really good sell-through rate. I didn't get much for it, and it's in really bad condition. It's called the O'Hara School of Flower Arrangements, but it's just, look at this. it's just like, I'm sorry, it should be gentle here. That was already off, that back cover. But it's just a very, I've never seen anything like it. And the whole thing is like that. And some of them were selling for pretty good money, but I think this one, because it's in such bad condition, but it's still really interesting. Like if you wanted to do something, well, if you liked this kind of flower arranging, so pretty, nice and simple. So that sold for $5 and $5 shipping. I made $4 on that. So I've made 27 gross, 14 net, 50% margins. I've made this year, and I'm going to be honest, since I haven't been doing it every day and I've been so busy, I haven't really kept this up. Like, I'm not writing everything down every day. So if I had known in the beginning of the year I was going to move, I maybe wouldn't have done this project, but I'll go in and match things up this week to make sure I'm right, so that, but sales have definitely slowed down since I've gone from 2,200 inventory to today. I did count 324. I haven't really been listing. I'm listing maybe one a day, one or two a day, just things I'm finding. Like I did just list this book like a couple of days ago, so it did sell fast. This was an offer to watch. I was like, you want it for $5? Go to a good home. It's yours. I've been doing that a lot with the offers. If there's a watcher, if it's something that's been sitting, it's $19.99. I'll send an offer back to them for $10. Let's move things along. So I made $32,356 gross this year and $16,155 net. All right, what else? What else I've been doing? Well, not much, but I love to read, and I've heard about this book. It's called The Creative Act, A Way of Being by Rick Rubin, and I just started it, but I just love it. Let me read to you. And then, what I like about him is he talks about creativity not being just making a painting or doing a dance or writing a book. Creativity is, let me say how he says it. Of course, I can't find it. Sorry. Dead space is terrible. Well, he talks about, I thought I had it underlined. Well, he basically says everything is creative. Everything is creative. Every problem you solve, okay, let me talk about it. Yeah, I made notes on this, so let me just go with my notes. Talks about creativity being, every moment of our day, we're being creative in some way or another. We're and creativity can just be doing something that you really love to do well and figuring out ways to do it. Like I always have ideas for inventions, and I think everybody does. The thing about it is following through with it. Well, we can't follow through with everything, but one thing I really liked and have always loved being creative, I was thinking about this. I was thinking about, I haven't created a painting or something, but I like to create great living spaces. I decided every house we've had that we've owned, we've tried to improve in one way or another, not just because it's good for resale, but because we just, knew it would make the place better. Like the first house we bought, it was actually the second house we bought, but the first house we bought, that's a long story. I have to tell you about that. I think I might have, but we bought the house and 6 weeks later had to move because my husband got offered his job out here after waiting 2 years because it's a government job. And they do like these background checks that take literally years sometimes. And anyways, I think I've told that story. I'll tell it again. But basically, we bought the house and then they offered the job and we had to take it. It was a dream job. So We owned that house for a very little time, but even there, we improved it. We spruced it up. But then the second house we owned, it had one bath. There was a night built in like the 1901 or something. It had one bathroom upstairs, and it was a real tiny house. Well, we put there was the only space you could put a bathroom in downstairs was the pantry and the kitchen. Now, having a bathroom off the kitchen is not the best design, but it was the only place, and I had 3 little kids, and I was like, I need a half bath in there. So we put a half bath in there, and man, it just made living there so much better. And we put a few little steps in the front yard to make it easier to get to the car and stuff, and it just made everything better. And we put a shed in the back. Now, those are all creative things we did. And then the next house we had, every square inch of that house we redid. It was a 1960s rancher, red brick rancher, terrible design. It had been added on and remodeled so many times. I wish I had the before pictures. Maybe I'll find some, but I did put the listing up when we sold it, and I put that in the links below. If you want to look at it, that was all my design, and I really like doing it. And then the next house we had was a house that had it was a very cute little house, one of the cutest houses I've ever seen, a little cottage in Aiken, South Carolina. But it was a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, and we needed a 3-bedroom. Well, we bought it on the urging of my realtor because she said we could make the attic into a bedroom suite, and we did that. And I put a link to that one too. That's like my pride and joy, that house. And just all of the design in the backyard, I did that. But my daughter and I designed the whole upstairs bathroom suite. I think it's one of the most beautiful bathrooms in the world. We did it for Airbnb, and people would walk up there. I'm not trying to boast or anything, but I'm just really proud of it. People would walk in there and go, this is exactly the design I've dreamed of having in my house and stuff like that. Gosh, I sound like I'm boasting, but it was just really fun to do that and get really positive feedback. And now this house, it didn't really need any kind of, it was beautifully decorated and designed when we bought it. And so all it needs is just some cleaning and sprucing up and fixing of things. And then when we get it all listed, I'll put that down here, that there link down there. So anyways, just talking about being creative. And, like right now we have to be creative in selling on eBay because it's changed a lot in the last few years. It's very competitive, and people have a lot of options, a lot of other places to buy clothes and stuff on. And yeah, I mean, if you're a clothing reseller now, everybody, it takes a few years, I think, took a few years like for Poshmark and maybe some of these other ones to catch on, but people are catching on now. People want a deal. So you got to be creative. And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm really, really talking about something I'm happy about. I didn't create it, but at least I did it. But I created it in my own way, and that's the new inventory system. I pretty much am copying Big Yumbo's, and I'll show you when it's all spruced up and looks great. What else? I left the windows open in the car and ruined a bunch of electrical and cost us a small fortune. It's always fun. I love doing things, like, cars break down and stuff gets old, but it's especially fun when it's your fault. It happens. Everybody's left their windows open, right? We just happen to have the biggest rainstorm downpour ever. It's just crazy. And another house I wanted to put up was this Mansfield, Missouri house that Laura Ingalls Wilder wrote some books there, and it was just so run down. That was a house my son had. It was so run down, and it was like, the yard, the fence was falling down, and it was kind of right near the town. So everything, since it was all run down, it made everything else around it look run down. So we built a new fence, we spruced it all up, we redid the floors, we painted it, we just made it beautiful, and it's just now that whole corner of that town, and the people who bought it are making it into like a little store, and I think they're doing Airbnb and stuff out of it, and they're making it into kind of a little town gathering place or something, from what I've heard. And my son drove by and he said, yeah, he said people in town are actually talking about it, talking about how great it is and everything. So I don't know. I just love doing stuff like that. And I'm excited about the next adventure with this little boathouse, this little lake house that we've just bought. So, and maybe when we're in Lynchburg, which has houses there that are some really rundown, cheap houses that you can redo. I would love to take one of those houses and make it into a project now that my husband's retired and my daughter wants to do stuff and my son-in-law is there and he knows how to do everything with houses. So I'm just so excited about going there, maybe getting another house to redo. I've often dreamed of like buying a neighborhood that's all, not gentrifying. I mean, I guess in a way it is, but that Mansfield house we actually lost a bunch of money on that because we kind of overdid it, I think. But anyways, I didn't think we would. I thought with the market that it was going to be it was just that it was the economy of that town is just not very good. So it just took the purchase price that they actually bought it at was a pretty high purchase price anyways, even though we kind of overpaid and overdid. Anyways, all right, that's enough about that. I hope that some of you, probably a lot of people turned off talking about, what about eBay? But it is all about eBay. It's like life, creativity, facing problems, creatively. Anyways, really good book. Makes you want to create. It makes me want to, when I think about stuff like this, it's like, I just want to make every minute of my day just creative and beautiful. And you guys are part of that. I love doing YouTube and stuff. It's another fun, creative thing for me. And a lot of people put in the comments about how sometimes how do I do it? I think it was really scary doing it at first, but like everybody says, and about everything, just start and just start, no matter if you feel prepared or not. So anyways, I'll see you in the next one.